I'm here today to share with you my top 10 favorite albums of 2022. These have been albums that I've been playing steady from the day they were released until now. And I believe that I'm going to be listening to them for many years to come. That is the quality that they possess. That's the quality that they have. The longevity of these albums is going to speak for itself. And at number 10, we have none other than Crysis with Full HD out on Listenable Records. They are a thrash metal band. And this year is a year that I felt like there were incredible thrash metal bands releasing incredible records. You're talking about bands like Destruction, Creator, Evil Invaders. And these guys stand up a little bit head above shoulders all others. This is my favorite thrash metal album of the year. It has all the elements that I've come to expect in a thrash metal album, but it also has a great design behind it. It's captivating, it's engaging, it's fluid, it's dynamic, it's raw, it's in your face, and that is exactly what I love about this band, and that's exactly what I love about the genre, and that's why Crysis with Full HD is on this list. At number 9, I have Invictus with Unstoppable, released on Monarch Heavy. They are a death metal band with groove metal elements, and this project is led by Maurizio of Cataclysm. Very different from Cataclysm. This is definitely not Cataclysm 2.0. This is much different from that. Two vocalists, two different styles, two different approaches, different sound. An album that you blink and it's gone, and that always speaks to the incredible playability, the fluidity, and how engaging it is. I just hope Maurizio takes this album on the road, that this is not just going to be a studio project for him, and he is able to perform this in front of fans, because the sound is phenomenal, the energy is palpable, and we need this. We need to listen to this album live and experience that firsthand, seeing him perform, seeing the band play with him, and be able to release all the demons that we have inside that are being exercised throughout this entire record in the music and in the lyrical content. At number 8, we have Sylvain with Nova out on Season of Mist. Blackgaze is the genre, but I honestly don't feel like this is an album or a band that fits under any single genre. Sylvain is very unique, and when you listen to this album, you're going to discover that uniqueness. A record that allows you to lose yourself within itself, but in a very positive way. You're not looking for your way out, you're just looking to absorb as much as you can. Your ability to take in allows this album to grow within you. It's a really interesting album from that point of view, because it has this 4D perspective to it. It's not just about the sound, it's about how it makes you feel, how palpable it is, the visuals that it creates when you're listening to it, and these are all important elements, specifically for Sylvain. She creates something unique with her sound, with her vocals, with her essence, and this album is a little bit of the pinnacle of what she can do. Definitely her best album to date, an album that opened the doors for me to discover Sylvain and discover all her work. Next we have Black Anvil at number 7 with Regenesis out on Season of Mist, a black metal band, and this album is in the top 3 black metal albums of 2022. It's exactly what the genre needs, is what the genre wants, and definitely what the fans of the genre are asking for. It's dark, it's heavy, it's gritty, it's grimy, it's evil. This album has all of that, not just in the sound, but also in the lyrical content. Lyrical content that allows you to peel the veil and see beyond the band and see the artists that are creating this incredible music. And that is an important element because it allows you to connect deeper with the experience of listening to this record, and that is what this album is all about, connecting deeper with it. Gives it longevity, and this album is going to have a ton of it. At number 6, we have Hoax with Two Shadows out on Relapse Records. They are a heavy rock band, duo I should say, from Portland. These girls are phenomenal. I saw them live with Amorphous. That's when I discovered them. When the album came out, I wasn't shocked by how good it is. This is a debut album. I can't remember the last time a debut album made my top 10 list. So that speaks volumes to the quality of this record. I love the guitar playing. I love the vocals. I love the simplicity of those two elements. But I also love the drums. The drums on this album are really well done, really well executed, and they feel like they're adding 2-3 different elements to the overall experience. Incredibly textured, as is everything else on this record. This is an album that feels like there are 10 people playing in it, but it still feels very simple at the exact same time. So you have an album that's layered, that's textured, but still feels oversimplified. That combination of factors gives playability to the album, but it also makes this album have an incredible shelf life because it never gets boring, it never gets old, and when you play it, you remember the moment, you remember that experience of listening to it for the first time, and you reconnect again with that same experience. At number 5, we have Decapitated with Cancel Culture out on Nuclear Blast. They are a death metal band, and this album has a lot of groove elements, and that's how they won me over. Those groove elements that the album offers allows them to blend well with the death metal sound, creating a more digestible experience from start to finish. It becomes a little bit more of a fluid record. It becomes a little bit more of a record that it's easy to connect with, that you don't have to work your way through it. The album does all the work for you and moves you along from song to song. It doesn't become redundant. It doesn't become boring. You don't expect what's coming next because you don't know what's coming next. And all of those attributes allow this record to then feel perfect within its existence. The track listing could have been slightly better. The order of the track listing, I should say, could have been a little bit better. But overall, the quality of the tracks erase any doubts that you could have on the overall quality of this album. At number 4, we have Oceans of Slumber with Starlight and Ash out on Century Media. They are a progressive band, and similar to Sylvain, these guys stand on their own. There's really no other band out there that does what these guys do. They're a band that you feel like they're always reinventing the box because they're not inside of it, but they're also not outside of it. They're the creators of said box. And that's extremely exciting for any band. And it's extremely exciting for the fans because with every record, with every song, you never know what you're going to get from Oceans of Slumber. You know you're going to get quality, but you're not really sure what you're going to get. And the fact that they always give you a different face or a different side of what the band can do shows you their versatility, their creativity, and it really opens the doors, and the doors become extremely wide in terms of where they're going to go. You don't know where they're going to go. They're always going to give you an Oceans of Slumber style record, but the experience that you're going to get from that record is going to be very different from album to album, and that's exciting. They're a band that doesn't stay still, doesn't rest on their laurels. They don't stay still in time. They don't copy a formula of the past and integrate it into the present, hoping that it would move them into the future. No, everything that they've done, they've done. Now let's look forward and create something new. That is the modus operandum of Oceans of Slumber. I love them from that, and this album is an absolute masterpiece. At number 3, the best black metal album of 2022, Gaia with Mirage out on Season of Mist. This is a phenomenal album. This is a seasoned record, flawless from start to finish. It doesn't matter if you're looking at the design. It doesn't matter if you're looking at the lyrics. It doesn't matter if you're looking at the sound. It doesn't matter if you're looking at the vocals. Everything is at the right place at the right time in order for this album to have strength in the individuality of the songs, but also strength across the collective. When I think of a more modern sounding black metal album, or I should say an album with more of a modern production touch to it, this is the blueprint. This is what I want to hear in that record. At number 2, we have the Giants Machine Head of Kingdom and Crown out on Nuclear Blast. They are a groove metal band, and this is by far my favorite Machine Head album since Burn My Eyes. There's no other album that even comes close to it. I think the reason for that is the proximity in sound, in energy, in essence that it has with Burn My Eyes. It really feels like part 1 and part 2. Obviously this one sounds more modern, sounds more updated. It's a concept record, something different from that point of view. But when you put all of these elements together, the continuation almost feels seamless. Where one ends is where the other one starts in terms of the energy, in terms of what it offers, the guitar sound, the vocal performance. This is one for the ages. I mean, Machine Head definitely hit a home run with this album. I can play this album every day and I wouldn't get bored of it because the energy that it has, the life that it offers, that grooviness of the guitars, the vocals, the anger, the drive that they have, all elements that I love, all elements that I enjoy, or all elements that I felt that left a little bit of Machine Head are finally back. And that makes this album number 2 on my list. At number 1, I don't think this is going to surprise anybody. Lorna Shore, Pain Remains, out on Century Media. They are the kings of deathcore, and this album is phenomenal. It's phenomenal in the sound, once again, phenomenal in the concept, finishing off with a trilogy of tracks. I mean, there's nothing else that I would ask from a record like this. The way they infuse symphonic elements into their sound has created a new wave of deathcore bands. A lot of bands perhaps weren't thinking about it before, they are thinking about it now. A lot of them are perhaps copying or imitating this formula, this format. But you can copy it, but that doesn't mean you can achieve the same results, because Lorna Shore is definitely a band that changed with the addition of Will Ramos. The sound has grown, has evolved, has matured, but the addition of Will Ramos on vocals has proven to be the best acquisition that this band could have ever made. He's very organic in his delivery, he has an incredible range, and this band becomes Will Ramos' platform to showcase everything they can do. I don't know which one gained from each other. Did Lorna Shore gain from adding Will Ramos? Did Will Ramos grow from joining Lorna Shore? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. The fact that we have them together as one, and they are Lorna Shore, is what matters. Pain Remains is a phenomenal album. It's the band's best record to date, and it just makes you wonder, where are they going from now? They've blown up completely. This album has also helped them reach new levels, new heights, mainstream almost. Really hard to say that for a deathcore band, but I really feel like Lorna Shore is creeping into that mainstream avenue, and that is great for them. It's great for the genre. It's great for metal. I don't think people should be upset or can be upset about a band reaching this sort of praise and reaching this sort of success. Good for them for putting out an album like this, an album that deserves us to do a little bit of a tip of a hat, if you will, for how good it is from front to back. This is it, guys. My favorite 10 albums of 2022. Let me know your favorite choices in the comment section. I'm looking forward to checking those out, and I'll see you all at the next video.